He could go all the way.
This was your idea.
What?
This was your idea.
No.
It
well,
was.
it was, but it was an idea for you.
Yeah, so lead it in.
Oh my god. Guys, welcome to 2 Degrees of Separation. I already don't want to do this one, but yeah. That's the thing that's going to happen often, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah. So this podcast today, well, the podcast in general is about, it's a variety topic podcast, and with Josh and Adam. Mm-hmm. And today we're talking about professional sports salaries. Mm-hmm. I came up with this one because me and Josh have kind of lightly talked about it before. He's a big sports guy. I'm not at all. I couldn't name 5 sports teams to save my life.
You know what? Let's try that right now. Let's put that to the test.
Well,
Because
okay,
you know a couple that even I've mentioned to you. You bought me a hat for one of them. So just start naming 5 names. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to do that, starting right now.
Vancouver Canucks, Montreal Canadiens, Toronto Maple Leafs, Edmonton Oilers,
10 seconds.
Calgary. There's a Calgary one, isn't there?
There's 2 you can name right now.
Calgary Stampede. No, Stampede. Stampede.
Well, yeah, Stampeders.
Stampede. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
CFL.
Oh.
So you almost
What's the hockey
got
team?
The Flames.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
So that wasn't actually terrible.
That wasn't bad.
I'm really mad you didn't get the Packers. You bought me the goddamn hat for it.
Well, I was gonna actually mention that. That was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. Going into that store in the mall. I think it's called Out of Bounds. It's like a sports. It's all sports apparel.
That's some probably sort of sports terminology for something.
Yeah. What is that for? Out of Bounds? Is that baseball?
I don't know what to say.
Is it?
I'm not going to explain it to you right now.
You're not even going to acknowledge that question.
It's It's different than when your wife tells you that's out of bounds, Adam. So when she tells you that weekly, it's not the same thing.
Weekly?
Yeah.
You mean daily?
Oh, daily. Sorry, my fault.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so you bought that. I'm sure you did feel awkward. That's like me asking for, where's your Charmander t-shirts?
That would be like that. I went in there and I was literally like, do you have Packers things? And there was 2 guys, and they kind of just like gave each other a look, and I was like, oh no, this is like me.
We're gonna take this guy for all he's worth.
This is like me. This is like when I bring my car into the shop. It's the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like me just kind of like, they can tell I just kind of like I Googled things right before I got there.
Yeah, something with my vroom vroom isn't going click click, and so there's a bit of an issue here.
Anyway, back to the topic.
Right, we do have a topic to talk about.
We certainly do. I'm gonna bring up those numbers I had here just a second ago.
Okay, but bring up the topic for the people here. We've killed them.
Did we not even say what the topic was?
Not really,
yet?
no.
Well, it's salaries of professional athletes. And so the figures that I have here, this is from 2013, but this is like just kind of the easiest information to find. Average for NBA players, 5.15 million. MLB players, 3.2 million. NHL, 2.4. NFL, 1.9. So those are kind of the main. Those are the biggest.
That's according to Forbes, it says.
And that's according to Forbes.
Okay, but obviously, they say it, but it doesn't tell the full story.
No, those are just the averages, and I know lots of them make way more than that.
Right. You had another page. Can you bring that up quickly? Okay, so that webpage just shows specific incomes for teams or whatever like that in the NFL. Not exactly what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But you were saying.
But so just looking at these averages, and these are the biggest sports, right? Like.
I could make up something and Adam wouldn't know. I could say the biggest sport is actually lava tightrope lancing.
Lava tightrope. Well, they just added that to the Olympics, so I can believe it. Yeah. But is soccer not that big in the US?
Not in the US, no. There are teams. Well, even like we've got there's say a lot of, what is it, the MLA? Is that the Major League or MLS? Sorry, what am I talking about?
Major League Soccer.
Yeah, I was thinking about MLA format.
Well, what's FIFA? Is that European?
Yeah.
Okay.
More so, yeah. So that MLS is like the Major League Soccer here. But anyway, it's popular, but yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
It's not as big as it is in Europe, obviously. It's the same way like football in, say, North America is far different than the football in the United States.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, Europe. But they love the football there, like they love the football here, and then it's vice versa. Not as much NFL. There still is. NFL teams travel to Europe to play a game like once a year.
Yeah.
But
these...
Yeah, so sorry, it is, but if it's not on the list, that's okay.
But these are like the big four, basically. Hockey, baseball,
these are the ones people care about.
And basketball.
Not soccer. Too many people diving, cheating.
I'm really shocked that basketball is actually the highest.
I am too, by that, because last I checked, do they have MLB? I thought it was MLB, because baseball players can make a ton.
Yeah.
Which is why so many people want to go to baseball, because they know if they graduate college and say they have a scholarship, or they had a scholarship going there, and they have teams looking at them to either play, say, in the NBA, NFL, or the MLB, a lot of them guys can pick baseball because they know I can do this for a lot longer. It takes far less strain on my body, you know what I mean? Because there's just much less, or like a lot less risk involved, and dare I say athleticism involved, than playing a physical contact sport, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the guys can go to the MLB because, I get a ton of money and I don't have to do that much.
Yeah, they don't,
So
they don't lose their teeth every game and
for sure
get concussions. And so I just actually Googled highest paid baseball players, and this is the 29, or I guess this is like 2018 to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them are, like a lot of these ones with this one guy, David Price, 30 million.
And that would be per year then.
Yeah, this is per year. Mm-hmm. So that's like...
That's huge.
That's
you get
huge.
some big ones. I remember one of the biggest contracts in the NFL in the last few years. There have been some bigger ones. I think around $150 million contract, I think.
For how many years, though?
I kind of forget. But if I can look it up after. But Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers quarterback. Hall of Fame, probably the best quarterback to ever live. And that will ever live. I think he signed the big one a few years ago was $110 million. I forget if that was after they won the Super Bowl shortly. Yeah, obviously, but still huge, $110 million contract.
It's insane.
But so we're getting to. Have we even mentioned it yet? It's going to be.
It's
in the title. It's in the title, so it doesn't matter.
This is the worst.
It's in the title.
Yeah.
But Adam wants to know, like, are these athletes deserving of the money?
Do you think that that's justified? Because I don't.
I know you don't, because you don't know what a basketball is. But
okay, to be fair, I also don't think that...
You played a lot of tennis, though. So you know sports.
I do.
You know what it takes.
I love tennis.
To do it.
Yeah. But, so, and just to be fair, I also don't think that an actor like Robert Downey Jr. Playing Iron Man getting paid $25 million, I don't think that's justified either for a movie.
I don't either, but I can understand kind of like this, and we'll transition to that. Say with that movie, if that movie brings in $1.5 billion, they'll say, yeah, we're going to pay $25 million because you're quote-unquote worth it and that you'll bring it in. The same way fashion models. Now, again, fashion models are useless. Useless, no skills, they can't do anything.
Whoa,
they just stand there and look attractive to some people to sell a product, right? But then you can argue, well, they're paying them that much because they're getting you to buy this and getting you to spend that much money on it. So it's the same way with the acting. Yeah, we could do one on that too, and I'll rant and rave for a while. But yeah, no, I agree with you on the movie thing, and I agree to an extent when it comes to sports. I hate when guys complain about contracts. They're like, I'm only getting $25 million here. This is garbage.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to this team because they're gonna pay me $30 million.
Yeah,
dude, it's already $25 million. You're doing what you love. Are you not? Are you not playing the sport that you love? Are you not doing this because you love it, or are you in it for the money? But I want to bring that down to our level, where Adam and I both work at the same place. We won't say because we're ashamed. but it's just like we don't get paid very much, obviously, right?
No,
but it's like if there's another place that's paying more for the same job, you're thinking, I'll just go there. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't I? You may think this organization's great. I like the people here. But they're going to pay me this like more to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to go over there. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, I mean, I have coworkers right now doing that. Exactly. In that very situation.
I mean, we.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
But yeah, and so like when it comes to the athletes, I think they deserve it more, especially like I said, compared to the models who do just goddamn nothing. But the actors, they actually put something on the line sometimes. They have to act. If they don't, if they suck, they're not going to get that money brought in from that film, you know what I mean? Well, so they have to be good. They have to be the quote-unquote best in order to get that big paycheck, even though I still think it's too much. But if you think you're going to spend, potentially, depending on what movie you're doing and how you're doing it, it's like, okay, for 3 months, you're going to make $25 million in 3 months.
Yeah.
That sounds absurd.
Yeah.
At least with football, we're saying, okay, you can sign a $30 million contract, and that's a 5-year contract. So it's like you play well for 5 years, you will get this $30 million. I say, we'll guarantee you $5 million in your contract you're signing. Maybe you get a signing bonus, but you're guaranteed $5 million, but you do everything right, you're going to get that $30 million basically.
Yeah.
So, and again, they're giving literally blood, sweat, and tears to do this. That's what those professional athletes are doing. They've trained for it their whole lives, their career. They've worked up, they've literally made themselves bigger, stronger, faster, just more physically and mentally capable to do this. Where actors, not so much, or actresses, it's just I give them so much credit because they do so many things that I love and that have inspired me. And I know I can't act as well as some of the people.
No, it is a skill.
Yeah, it's almost like being like
can
professionally, I want to say schizophrenic in a way. You know what I mean? It's crazy some of the characters that they can portray. But I just think, if we're talking about people making a lot of money and getting paid for it, like a lot of money, I think that professional athletes are the most deserving.
You think so?
Of it. And if we're talking about these, okay, if you're a big CEO of a company who started the company, who's done a lot, and it's a great company that helps people, yeah, you deserve the money more than, this guy, I don't know, kicking a soccer ball around. You just do, okay?
And that's the thing I was just going to say, because, like, you could say that they, they train hard. They've trained hard their whole lives, some of them, and, like, and they continue to train hard during the season or whatever. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, they are just playing a game.
They are.
So
now,
there's no stakes to it. Like, it's just a game.
Well, in a sense, the stakes are if they don't play it well, they have no job. And they have to do something else.
Okay.
Those are the stakes for them.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're injured too, you can lose your job. It doesn't always happen. They try to keep it where, say you're a starter, you're one of our best players. We're not just going to replace you because you got injured, and we're going to have someone sub in for you, and they're going to stay there. You're going to warm the bench, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, every game these guys are playing, it's for their jobs pretty much. It's their livelihood. If they suck, they're gone. Why would I keep you? Why would I keep paying you X, million to do mediocre at best? There's no point.
Yeah.
But then that can also transition over the actors. Like, no, that you're garbage. I couldn't believe a word of what you said right there. So if you're going to do that, get off the set. We're going to get someone else. You know what I mean? Take a hike and go act in a porno or something where you belong.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's a burn, to an actor. Go act in a porno.
That's probably the worst of the worst.
I think so.
Another thing that an argument that I heard someone say one time is that, like, it's a very small percentage of, like, the population, basically, that is capable of playing at that level. Like,
yeah, I'd agree with that.
Especially, probably, I would say, with, like, NHL players and everything. Like, this, to have, like, the speed, the accuracy, the strength, stamina, kind of that stuff. Like,
I want you to Google something for me quickly here. Go to Wikipedia. Okay, so here, let me finish off. And like you're saying, with a certain population playing it. So I'm going to give an example. This isn't the best one, but okay. One of the Green Bay Packers' former tight end, one of the best ones they've had in a long time. He's basically too big, like too fast for the linebackers to cover, too big for the cornerbacks to tackle. He's great. But Jermichael Finley, so he is, at that time anyways, 31, or it's like 31 now. But he's 6'5", 250 pounds roughly. Like, that's a big dude. And you see him, it's all muscle. And it's speed, too. He's fast. Yeah. So, again, you don't get guys like that. They're not a dime a dozen. Finding a 6'5", 250-pound guy who's almost all muscle and can, outrun almost anyone It's like they don't come around that often. Yeah. But then here's the other thing. This goes back even to those useless fashion models.
God,
but then
you really have it out for these fashion models.
I do. I've
never heard this before.
Okay, so anyway, these useless fashion models. So for them, this goes back to, like, again, this also applies to them.
Who hurt you? Did you get burned by a fashion model?
No.
She left you at the altar?
I couldn't see her. She was standing there, but I couldn't see her. I saw right through her.
That's dark.
I saw right through her. So I thought she just, had cold feet and ran away.
Oh man, I probably made you lose your train of thought here.
But okay, so this applies to the fashion models, the actors, the athletes, but primarily those, because all these things, as opposed to again going to business owners or CEOs, executives and all that stuff that are businesses. This is a business too, all these are, but it's entertainment. It's one of the things where people are willing to pay their own money to come and watch this, literally just to sit and watch. And they can get excited, they'll be happy, they'll be sad, they'll be angry, they'll cry, they'll cheer, like everything, but they're giving their own money for them. So to say those people don't deserve the money that these people are paying, like giving to them, to do that, it's hard to argue it. How could they not? These people are coming and literally giving them their money to watch them do that.
You know, that's...
Even though
that's
you can charge too much.
Yeah.
Movie theaters cost way too much. Fashion, obviously, like food, one of the worst industries in the world for, not upselling, but like the... their... I can't even think of the word now and I sound like an idiot. But just for their cost differential, right? Their profit... Something costs them $10 to make. They sell it for $200. Oh, that's the fashion industry. It's horrific. I completely agree with you. It's brutal.
The fact that shoes can cost hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, they're knowingly, willingly ripping people off on purpose just to make money. The fashion industry is awful.
A few dollars to make.
Right, but again, people are, even though those prices are too much for a lot of sports tickets, too expensive. You don't get a lot of average Joes going sometimes because of the cost. It's just too hard. Yeah. And again, even movies, super expensive. Go on a date these days to a movie. It can run you like $50, right? Yeah. Especially if you go for like dinner and a movie. But even a movie, costs, like 2 tickets is what? Roughly $20, you could say. Plus, say if you got a popcorn for you too and 2 drinks, that could be roughly...
It's like $50.
Well, even that could almost be $30 for like 2 tickets, a popcorn, and 2 drinks, right?
Yeah.
So they charge too much. Yeah. But again, people are willing to pay. People are giving them their own money they worked for to watch this. To be entertained in some way, to enjoy something. So... It's hard to argue with that, even if I think some of these guys get too much money. I think some will complain too much, and it's super frustrating. Yeah. But it's,
You know what? Something I just thought of, though, that when you're right, because that's the money that they're making anyway. Mm-hmm. And actually, I would rather it be going to the players than just to the owners of the teams.
For sure.
That I never thought of that before. Because those teams are going to be making that much anyway. They make so much money off of merchandise.
For sure.
And just even the network deals with like
definitely.
What is it? TSN or something? Is that the...
That is one,
Is that one of them?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so proud. Are you proud?
Yeah. I think so.
I don't know what I'm feeling right now.
Disappointed or sad or proud? Surprised?
And but yeah, I guess, you know what, the more I think about it, I don't really have a problem with the averages that I saw there.
Right.
But like the ones that are making $25 million in a single year, I think that's kind of outrageous.
It does get into an excessive amount, I know. Now again, they're paying them because they're the best of the best, supposedly. Not everyone. There's some stupid trades like in the NFL this year where you see guys getting a big chunk of money and they're doing hardly anything, especially at quarterback. Yeah. But they're paying them because they know like they'll get something in return from them, or it's like he's the best option we have out there, so we have to give him this to get him to play for us. Yeah. But you're expecting results, and people get let go so often. Players, coaches, even like training staff and management. Oh, for sure. A lot of times, if they're not performing, if things aren't working out, they'll go. Almost, it's okay. It's almost, I think, a lot more rare to look at a player and his stats after, say, he retires in any sport after 10 years, we'll say. Yeah. And to see, wow, one team in 10 years, that's it. Just one team, right? He played for the Maple Leafs 10 years and retired. Yeah. That's impressive. That doesn't always happen. You look at a lot of guys' stats, and you can see anywhere from like 2 to freaking 8 teams in his, say, 10-year career, 15-year career. Yeah. Because you can just get moved around a lot, especially depending on your skill level.
And they don't have a say a lot of the time. Or most of the time, right? They get drafted.
No, guys, they get drafted somewhere like when they come out of, the... say college or stuff, or your other lower level hockey stuff like OHL, AHL, things like that. But for trades, no, you can just wake up one morning, open your text messages, or
you could like read in the news that
you can read in the news. Yeah, like wow.
I bet that happens.
I guess I'm going to Florida. Yeah. And I live in fucking Oregon or something. It's like, all right.
Because wasn't that what happened? This is my ignorance is showing here, but isn't that what happened with Gretzky? Like, didn't he was always on Canadian teams, right? And then he got traded to...
Well, no, I think he was in Edmonton in the beginning. Then he went to L.A.
Really?
The Kings. Yeah, he went to the Kings. But I forget if he knew about that or not.
But wasn't that a big controversy when like the guy like the owner of the team sold him to an American team, and like he personally made a lot of money off it, and like
Maybe I'm showing my ignorance here because I don't really know.
no, I could be completely talking out of my ass here, but
It's possible.
I thought that was a thing.
We'll let you decide. We'll let you decide.
Yeah, it's not just possible; it's probable. But
you can tell us in the comments below.
Yeah. Anyway, that just about wraps it up.
Yeah.
But do you have anything else?
No, I think they deserve it to an extent. Again, same with the actors. I think they deserve it to an extent. Maybe those useless fashion models, they deserve some of it to an extent.
He can't even say it without adding useless at the beginning. But actually, one thing that...
But I'm just saying, I feel that it is justified in a variety of ways to an extent. Obviously, there are some exceptions where it's just way too much money for one person for what they're doing. You can't really justify it. You could understand a certain amount, but not the incredibly large amount that they are getting for doing that, especially when other people are doing the same thing but for significantly less.
Yeah.
Still in millions of dollars, sure, but just less millions.
Well, actually, yeah, because I think I told you this before, but like when you look at, I could bring it up really quick, but the CFL average salary is just in the thousands.
Yeah.
It's not even a million. The average salary for CFL, which is just the Canadian equivalent of the NFL.
Yeah, very good at
it. Do I get a gold sticker for that
you do. But their equivalent is
80,000 compared to the other one was
almost 2 million.
Almost 2 million. So like
huge difference.
They're doing the same exact thing.
For sure, but now here's what we were talking about before. CFL used to be bigger though. They I think made more money. Used to be, I believe, bigger than the NFL at one point. Then the NFL just kind of took over and ran with it. Literally took the ball and ran with it. But again, difference being, okay, you said Robert Downey Jr. to getting paid the same as, or the low amount that Michael Sequoia gets paid. Do you know him?
I don't know him.
I just made him up.
Oh.
But he is an independent actor, we'll say, who does just indie movies, right?
Yeah,
he doesn't make much money. Sure.
He was in Sharknado.
Don't know, just made him up.
Yeah.
But Michael Sequoia now is going to be super popular. I hope he gets Googled. But
yeah,
do you see what I mean? What Downey Jr. makes, where he's playing, and what that business is making compared to that guy on the independent scene doing little independent films here and there. Yeah. He's never going to get that much unless he goes over to that or switches to it. And so the CFL is the same, though. It just doesn't make the revenue that the NFL does.
Yeah.
So they can't pay them out that much. And same thing, small business, big business. Small business, get minimum wage. Big business, $20, $25 an hour plus benefits and whatever.
And Michael Sequoia?
Michael Sequoia, yeah.
He could be a way better actor than Robert Downey Jr.
He could be.
I doubt it because Robert is really good.
Yeah, but Michael Sequoia, the name, Michael Sequoia.
I mean, the biggest thing he's been in is Sharknado, though.
He wasn't even in Sharknado. You don't know what he's been in.
Wait, what am I thinking of?
I don't know. I just made this guy up, so he hasn't been in Sharknado.
What was that other one? Piranha? Was he in that one?
I think he was in Casablanca, Jaws.
Oh.
The Avengers, Age of Ultron.
Okay, wow.
He's like 160.
I was going to say, how old is this guy? Because I was picturing a guy in like his 30s.
No, well, he looks like he's in his 30s. Actually, he is, but it's just he doesn't.
Actually, he is?
Yeah, actually.
But he was in Jaws?
Yeah.
Is he a time traveler?
Duh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's probably making way more than all of us, then.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
We've wasted enough of your time.
Yeah, I think that about wraps up. Though, yeah, no, I'm not even going to go into the last thing I was going to say.
Well, those are my thoughts.
This was a good discussion, yeah.
I
think we both... you actually changed my mind a little bit.
But I still, like I said, disagree with to an extent. Or I only, accept it to an extent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times I don't think it's justified and they don't deserve that much.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
And actually one thing I'll say really quickly. If they did lower... When you talk about, they have to give this guy, blah, 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 in order to keep him and everything. If they did just kind of lower everyone's... and then they could pass on that saving to the consumer. It's kind of like what you're talking about with theaters, how they're charging way too much for the tickets, popcorn, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. If they lowered actors, wages, they could decrease that as well.
For sure. But we can kind of say, LOL, JK, that's never going to happen on any of those. They just won't. They're making too much money as it is, unfortunately. So
yeah. Well, and kind of actually what you were saying about earlier about people are willing to pay it. Like, it's the market sets those prices.
Yeah.
So if people are willing to pay, how much do you pay to
And the more they're willing to pay, the more they can charge.
How much do you think people pay to go to an NFL game? Like just an average one?
Oh, I can't think. We'd have to Google it.
Yeah, we'd have to look at it.
But it can be kind of pricey. Oh man, go to the Super Bowl is like thousands for certain tickets. The Super Bowl is insane. I mean, that's different as Super Bowl, right? But just, I mean, there's a lot. Like I know in Green Bay right now, the Packers. People have just bought, first of all, tickets for so long. So it's so hard to get tickets for their games because they have season ticket holders that are just holding those tickets that they already bought in advance for how many years? For a long time, like years ahead. So sometimes you have to pay a lot, whether to a scalper outside or even to get a seat in the nosebleed section up top. You know what I mean? You're going to be paying a couple hundred potentially just to get it, and obviously in the thousands for much better seats like lower down and everything like that for a variety of sports. But it's frustrating, but it's a lot of cash you got to dish out just to watch the best of the best, basically. Yeah, it's close up.
My last question: how is Travis Green doing with the Canucks?
Oh, fine, I think.
Is he fine?
I don't know. The Canucks suck this year.
Do they?
I don't really watch them.
But is that his fault? Because he's the coach, right?
It is his quote unquote fault because he's the coach, but it's not really him. The coach's going to do so much. If your players suck, they suck. If they don't want to listen to you, you got to try to change that. But some of them just don't want to listen, and it's also unfortunate that when you have a bad team, sometimes they fire the coach because it's very easy to replace a coach and get a new one than it is to fire your entire team and get a whole new team. Yeah. So that's why you see coaches go all the time. It's just easier to do it.
I don't watch, but I'm rooting for him because he's from my hometown.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Played for the Leafs for a while, which is kind of nice. Or a little bit, sorry. But
well, didn't he play for the Canucks?
Yeah. Oh, wait, I think so, yeah.
And for the Leafs.
I know he did for the Leafs for a couple of years. He played with Boston, too. I forget if he did do Vancouver as well. Anyway, we both digress. Thanks for listening, guys and girls. Appreciate it. If you have any comments you want to leave us down there, go for it. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to. And, let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about next time.
I apologize to any fashion models listening.
We don't care about them. They have no souls.
Jesus. Okay, bye, guys.